Hey everyone, this is just going to be a quick video response to Ujames 1978 and his little video series that is done recently on the age of consent. Seeing as I'm not subscribed to Ujames, I didn't really know anything about this until I saw Pamu's video, I think that's how you pronounce his username, today, and Coughlin616's video about this. Again, Ujames has not backed up anything that he said with facts, figures, sources, anything like that. And this is why this video is going to be called something like helping Ujames out, because bless him, I don't think he knows how to use Google. So in my infinite kindness, I have provided to him in the description bar 3 links to studies that show that sexual recidivism, I always have problems with that word, recidivism, in England and Scotland are very low, lower than most other reoffending rates for other crimes. Now why is this important? Because whether you like it or not, James, having sources and facts to back up your statements is important, and it is important whether you're right or not, because how are you supposed to change things in the real world if you don't know how to change them and what specific things you need to go after. So why do you think this rate is so low, James? Could it be because in jail sex offenders are treated as the scum of the earth, the people that the murderers and the arsonists and the psychopaths look down upon and are subjected to horrendous abuse, so maybe they wouldn't like to go back? I'm probably sure that has something to do with it, but do you not see this as the case? Is this, and in combination with things like rehabilitation, not reducing harm to children? Now, I know you may say that you're not talking about, very young children, but of teenagers. But you see, the thing is, if you take your argument to its logical conclusion, then that is exactly what you're advocating for. If you think age of consent laws don't help and don't reduce harm, then I can only assume that if you were in power, if you were in charge of what laws govern the country, then you would get rid of it. Or else, why else would you be so against it and not get rid of it? You haven't talked about lowering the age of consent. You haven't given any other specifics. So what else am I and other people supposed to deduce? By getting rid of the age of consent laws, you're basically saying any person at any age can consent to sex, and this means that, unburdened by the penalty of jail and the things that would happen to them in jail, sex offenders would be free to try and persuade children to consent to sex, regardless of whether they know what they're actually agreeing to, which, giving young children's inability to grasp things such as this, they probably don't. Do you not see how this would create harm? Can you not fathom that children's minds, especially young children's minds, have not yet learned enough that they can make an informed decision about this subject? Now, if you're opposed to such things as that, and you would punish these sorts of people, why? What is it that is so abhorrent to you about these specifics? In your eyes, what makes a 17-year-old having sex with a 15-year-old different from a 35-year-old making a 12-year-old consent to sex? In my opinion, James, you've got yourself into a bit of a situation here, and you really need to take a good hard look at yourself and listen to what other people are saying, and be very careful and clarify what you mean.